Line of play, Jordy Dwyer is first base, Kevin Manza, and Zach Charbonnet.
And joining the Regina Red Sox on the field is today's junior Red Sox. A big round of applause for the North Regina Little League minor AAA.
Fans, we would like to acknowledge that tonight's game is being played on Treaty 4 territory with the zone of 3, SOCA, Dakota, and Métis Nation. We now ask that you please rise if you're able, remove your headwear, and join the singing.
Well, it took a few more minutes, but we are back here from Curry Field on FloCollege for some WCBL baseball. It's a Saskatchewan, Alberta rivalry. Regina Red Sox facing off against the Fort McMurray Giants here from Curry. We were delayed by about 25 minutes or so. First pitch was scheduled for about 7:05. Some rain in the area, some wind in the area. It is getting low to about 7 degrees here in North Regina. But we are just about ready for the first pitch here, about 7:31 p.m. local time. It's going to be a doozy here. Two teams really going in different directions this early in the season, but anything can really change, Mr. Jared Klein.
Yeah, and especially when you have a game where the weather is so so unpredictable. We started the game late. Pitchers warmed up, then sat down, then had to get warm again. Anything can happen tonight, and the Red Sox got to be on the game if they want the expected outcome.
There were some worries about the smoke quality in the area with the forest fires currently going on in northern Regina. However, those were not an issue. Rain, however, just after Fort McMurray ended their batting practice around 6:10-ish, rain really started to come down. There's some concerns about if this game was going to happen at all. There were some plans about some doubleheaders tomorrow, but instead the Red Sox defense is out and they are ready to get things underway. And on the mound, it'll be Nicholas Yard making his first start of the season, his third appearance. All of his other appearances have been in relief. He's only allowed 2 hits. He's struck out 5, has not allowed a run, walked 2, and has pitched 5 1/3 innings in this young season. So a reliever on the mound that the Red Sox are going to give some hope to starting this game.
Yeah, and with Yard, he is a longer reliever. He's not just a one-inning guy. You mentioned 5 1/3 in the 2 games he's played. So about 2.5 innings per start or per outing. So they're going to see if they can stretch him out over a longer period of time tonight and give that rotation a little bit of a rest.
So the Giants will lead things off with center fielder Elijah Olabal.
No runs allowed this season, so he's off to a pretty good start in his second season with the Regina Red Sox.
Righty on lefty to start the game.
Baseball in Regina.
First pitch, and it is going to get into left field. Past the third baseman Bender, and Oli Ball on one pitch has a base hit.
Yeah, Noli Ball started the season pretty well for the Giants, batting .300 through the first 6 games, 5 RBIs and 6 walks to 5 strikeouts.
So now it'll be Darcy Berry, the shortstop. He'll dig in. It'll be righty on righty with Oli Ball on first.
And now the number 2 hitter, Darcy.
Wind blowing into left field from right into left. That's first pitch is inside for a ball. We'll take a look at the Giants lineup here. This is Derry Borey batting second. Following him will be the center fielder Elijah Cook. Then it's Matt Rhodes, Carter Herkin, Nick Suave as the 1-0 coming up. Swung on a miss to make it 1-1. It'll be Zach Charbonneau, the second baseman, batting 7th. Carter Arts will back 8th, and Connor Rennie, the right fielder, will round out this lineup.
Yeah, just a couple things to look out for here for this Fort McMurray team.
Here's one golfed that is going to go far foul on the left field side. It's 1-2.
We want to look at Arts. He's yet to record a hit this season, and we'll see if he can get off the schneid a little bit. And then on the other side, Barry is leading the team in average, .364 to start the season in the 6 games, 22 at-bats.
And Oli Ball at first. He has a tendency to steal as he takes off there on the 1-2. This one will get fouled back, so he'll have to go back to first base. Oli Ball, Barry, as well as Rhodes, the 3 hitters to look out for. Rhodes, the man that leads the team in hits, so a very top-heavy squad that lost its first 5 games. Currently sitting at a 2-5 record, however, coming through Weyburn. They beat up on the Beavers, winning those 2 games by a score of 8-6, and last night 8-4. 1-2 coming again. Oli Ball not running, and this one a breaking ball that'll hit right off the upper back of the batter Barry, and there are 2 on very quickly here in this first inning.
And that's something we talked about before the game, to be lookout on more fastballs because of the cold weather and the wind, especially for a righty. It can kind of hang or hold those breaking balls up, so be on the look for more fastballs from a righty like Yard.
Yeah, not a lot of command. These grips are not going to be as grippy as they have been in the past of this season. Wind still continuing to blow from right to left. There's a big hack from Elijah Cook, the center fielder, looking at that high fastball. It'll be 0-1 early. See a lot of players wearing the sleeves. Cook, in this instance, wearing the hoodie. Righty on righty. Here's the 0-1 with 2 on. Another big hack on the high fastball, and he'll go down 0-2 very quickly.
And when we look at a team like Fort McMurray, they have scored some runs this year. Throughout the team, they have 32 runs scored. So through their first 7 games is not a low number, but by any, it's about 3.5, 3.75 runs a game, which in some cases can be enough. But what we've seen is they'll have a really high total and a really low total. They're not at that 3.
And they play in a tough Western Conference, so these early season games, they're important as this one's hitting to right field and it's going to get by. Oli Ball wing waved around third as it gets the warning track. 1 run will come in. Here comes the second as the throw comes into the infield, and that will do it. A 2-run double, and Elijah Cook has opened this scoring here in this first inning with still none out. The visitors take a grip of this game.
Yeah, and a good piece of hitting there by Cook. Slapped it to the opposite field, down to the right field line, and 2 RBI double. Coming into this game, Cook had 3 RBIs, so already pushing that total early here.
As well as only 3 hits, so there's hit number 4, and it's a big one. First pitch to Matt Rhodes with a runner on second is fouled back. Rhodes, the first baseman today, mentioned leading the team in hits. Also boasts a .296 average.
Something we haven't mentioned yet is the defensive alignment for the Red Sox. Left to right in the outfield is Jordan Tucker, Raphael Jackson, Jackson Searing, who's back from LSU Shreveport. Played in 54 of their lossless 56 game season.
Yeah, he's been the real talk of the college baseball world as LSUS. Righty on lefty here, Rhodes, the cleanup man who has 7 RBIs, will look to add to that total. It'll be 1-1, 2-1, excuse me. And on that infield, Bender at left, Baker at short, Smart at second, and Wright at first. Jaden Calora will catch this pitch. It'll be called for a strike on the inner part. 2-2. Umpires for this game, I should mention. Behind the plate, it is Jordy Dwyer. At first base, it's Kevin Menzik. And Zach Chartrand, usually posted at third. Here he's behind the mound with the runner at second. 2-2.
Cashed in 2-0 for the Giants. And the 2-2 offering.
Off the end of the bat, it'll go to shallow left field. The shortstop Baker has no play on the throw, so it'll be an infield hit. The runner stays put at second, and once again they're 2-on, none out.
Yeah, and if you're Baker there, you made a good route to the ball, made the play, took a look, realized you weren't going to have the time to get a speedy Rhodes at first, put it in your pocket, live to fight another day.
So once again, it's 2-on. Now it's the 5-hitter Carter Herkin, the designated hitter. Righty on righty. Here's the pitch from Yard. Chopper third base side, but it'll take a hot foul.
Well, I was born in 97, so you got
Herkin, a righty from Calgary, Alberta, currently attending the University of Toronto.
for Fort McMurray.
One of a decent amount of Canadian guys on this Fort McMurray team. Oh, one. That one is called the upper part, to the surprise of Herkin.
McMurray's coach is not like that. It's right on the top left corner.
And home plate umpire Jordy Dwyer's kind of hearing it from the visitors' dugout.
Herkin comes into this game with 4 hits on the year and 12 at-bats.
Tried to go back with it upstairs with that fastball. Doesn't get Hercun to chase.
Herkin only 3 games this year.
Really? He said one more and you're done. He's not having it early on in this game.
A break here before this 1-2. I think someone got ejected from the Fort McMurray dugout.
No, not yet. He was giving them a warning,
sorry.
saying, one more time and you're done. You're going. We're not putting up with this on this chilly evening in Regina.
Yeah, patience for such outcasts and outbursts, I should say, as low as the temperature here at Curry Field.
Yeah, for a day in June, 7 degrees and probably dropping is cold and wet.
This one straight back to Yard. They try to throw it to second, and it goes into center field. Tagging up will be Cook, and he will stay put after slipping, trying to get back to second. So it'll only be the one. The Red Sox don't sacrifice another runner advancing, but they do get their first out of the game.
Yeah, the Red Sox caught a bit of a break there as Cook tried to make his break to third once he realized that ball was in the outfield. He slipped, lost his footing somehow, and went to the ground, decided it was best to stay put.
So in this first inning, we'll see the 6-hitter of Fort McMurray. It's Nick Suave. Righty on righty. Here's one lifted into left center. Going back. The fielder's in. It's over the head of Tucker. It's a 3-run bomb, and Fort McMurray have taken this game and are running away with it early.
Yeah, 5 runs in the first inning for Yard. And he came in with 0 earned runs in 5 innings. And through 1 out, he's already given up 5 to Fort McMurray offense, which we described as a team that will put up a lot of runs or very few runs.
First home run on the year for Suave. RBI number 2, 3, and 4.
Here's Kavanaugh, the second baseman, batting left-handed. Yard
So it's a 5-0 game. This first pitch to the 7-hitter Nick Chauvinot.
And Chauvinot comes to this game with a 111 average and 10 strikeouts.
Swing and a miss, good change up there.
Chauvinot takes a hack at that, and he's quickly down 0-2. His yard just tries to get out of this inning and limit what's been a catastrophic start. 0-2. Wind gusting.
Their only home run came off the bat of Sanders.
That one misses high and outside. 1-2.
He's not in the lineup.
Suave batting .320 in 6 games this year. 6 hits, 3 doubles, and 5 ribbies.
Hitting 320 on the year as that one's just off.
That one outside again. This one a little lower.
I actually had the
2-2. So a efficient hitter towards the bottom of this Fort McMurray lineup.
And taking a look at the Red Sox season so far, they have not had an inning as Chauvinot strikes out swinging. They have not had an inning where they've given up 5 runs. This is the first for this very good pitching squad.
Here is Carter Arts, the third baseman and the 8-hitter. He'll dig in with 2 outs and none on. Righty on righty.
McMurray up 5-0 in the top of the first inning. After a delayed start, very cold here in Regina as the first pitch misses off.
First pitch is outside.
Pitcher Nicholas Yard, who's given up his first
Arts
run
has yet to get a hit this year.
WCBL this season.
We mentioned that off the top in 2 games. Has scored a run.
1-0. Top right corner.
That one hits a little bit outside.
Last season, he
1-1.
made 6 appearances for the Red Sox. Went 2-1 with a 8.21 earned run average. Struck out 7 in just over 7 innings.
Normal alignment from the infield. A little bit shifted in the outfield. Great breaking ball there for strike 2. And Yard is 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning.
Yeah, and if you're Yard here, you just want to move on with the rest of the game at this point.
1-2.
1-2 pitch.
Breaking ball just misses the inner part of the zone. So Arts will live to see another pitch. That misses high to fill the count.
And if you're Arts here and you don't have a hit this season, you might feel the pressure in most of your at-bats. But in one like this, where your team's already put up so many runs, this is one where you can get your first hit.
He was looking for his first hit there. Instead, he fouls it back. So we'll see another full count pitch. Full count and swing and a miss on the high fastball, and Arts goes down on strikes, just like the man before him. However, a tumultuous inning for the young Regina starter. It's a 5-0 game after the top of the first. Red Sox will have to come from behind. We'll be back with the bottom of the first after this.
Fuck, it's cold.
Well, the Red Sox have a little bit of a hole to get out of. They're down 5-0. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Red Sox for this event for Fort McMurray. It's a label Cook and Rain on the left to right. Now take a look at the southpaw.
Refinery Road is putting the air to resistance to the 42.
Matty Norton going to the Red Sox for Alex Jackson. Searing his season debut and over 400 for the Red Sox. And it's McMurray in right, followed by Ben Jordan Tucker. This offense needs to come alive. And Norton is winning 3-5 on Regina Wilson, who's a southpaw who hails California and Embry-Riddle.
Back here at Curry Field, a fantastic inning for the Fort McMurray Giants. 5 runs in the top of the first, just what they need here in this cold evening to get ahead of a team with a much better record than them as they just about come here to take the back in the Regina Red Sox. Take a look at their lineup here as they get ready to begin. It'll be Raphael Jackson leading things off the center fielder. Then it's Justin Simard, a returning Jackson Searing, who we'll have plenty to talk about. Jaden Kalora, Braden By, and James Wright will follow. Then the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Riley Bender, Sam Baker, and Jordan Tucker all coming in. They will face off against Braden Wilson, the lefty.
Braden
First
Wilson
pitch to
comes
Jackson
into
is
the
a strike.
year. Oh, sorry. Braden Wilson comes into the game with 2 appearances, 2.2 innings, 2 strikeouts, and a 10.12 ERA.
This one's flying away. His last game against Saskatchewan, he allowed 5 runs over 2/3 innings, only striking out 2. So both sides going with relievers on the mound. 1-1. That one's well outside to Jackson. Jackson batting .296 in all 7 games this season. He's been a everyday outfielder for them. Scored 8 times as a double and 9 RBIs. Also a bit of a steal threat with 6 on the year. Here's one popped up. It'll be on the shallow left field. The shortstop making a play. It's Barry, and he'll make the catch for 1 out. This defense for the Fort McMurray Giants has Olibal in left, in center, and Rocky in right. Arts is at third, Barry's at short, Kavanaugh is at second, Rhodes is at first, and Save is behind the plate for Wilson.
And Save was the one who hit the 3-run homer, which really blew that first inning wide open out over the left field wall and past the scoreboard.
Lefty and righty. This one's outside for ball 2. Justin Simard on the year, batting .267 in all the games the Red Sox have played. 8 hits, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. That's in for strike 1.
Samard, to this point, is yet to draw a walk as well. He has 6 strikeouts against.
Here's a ball lifted. It looks like it's playable first base side. Going for it is Rhodes, and he makes the catch in foul territory. Wind almost knocked that one down right in front of the Red Sox dugout, and that's out number 2.
At the plate for the Red Sox, the right fielder, number 12, Jackson Searing.
So here comes Jackson Searing. After a fantastic collegiate season, he'll look to carry his momentum here wearing a red jersey.
Yeah, and as you said, absolutely amazing season for Searing. .331 average, 7 home runs, 48 RBIs, and 22 stolen bases in 54 appearances.
And that was for that undefeated LSUS team that went on to win their collegiate division. He was a big part of the Red Sox last season. Looks to contribute as they go really all or nothing this year on a championship. Here's on foul, first base side, 1 and 2. And looking to get his season off right.
And as you mentioned, big part last year of the Red Sox, finishing the WCBL season as a .404 average, 16 doubles, 7 home runs, 51 RBIs, and 21 walks.
And here he gets one as it's knocked into right field to keep the inning alive. So first at bat for the year and his first base hit.
And picking up right where he left off here in Regina and at LSUS, hitting the ball well and finding holes.
So with a man on and 2 out, it is the catcher, Jaden Kalura. Runner on first, lefty on lefty. Here's one lifted into center. Coming in is Cook, and now backing up a few steps, making the catch for out number 3. And that'll retire the side. So, Regina, 4-batter first inning. They still find themselves down 5-0. Lots of baseball left to play from what we can see. We'll be back on Flow Sports College.
Coffee, hot chocolate, do you have a preference?
The baseball community here in Regina, the city of Regina, and the Regina Red Sox and WCBL such a great loss.
But I know it's in June.
Join his teammates and
The Red Sox looking to bounce back after a catastrophic top of the first where the Giants brought across 5. They will look to hold them here as they will face the top of the order once again after the 9-hitter Connor. Excuse me, that's Carter Arts. Excuse me, Connor Martin. Excuse me, Connor Ranny. Read my lineup wrong. Apologies. He looks at a first pitch ball on the inner part. Raney batting .200 on the year in 4 games. Wind gusting again just before this 1-0. It is hit deep into right field, but it'll fall foul in the Red Sox bullpen. 1-1. Rainey playing right field today. Normal shift from the infield. Outfield stays about the same. Slightly shifted to his pull side. That one's low for ball 2.
I already had one pregame. The 2-1.
2-1 is hit straight to the shortstop. It's Baker. He takes it on a hop, throws it, and beats out the runner by a step for out number 1.
Back at the top of the order for Fort Mac, the batter of the left fielder for 28, Elijah Olibal.
Well, we've got some special guests coming to the booth. Now, of course, Leo, we do talk about this.
Now it's up to the leadoff man, Elijah Olibal.
And
Third baseman Bender playing a little bit in towards the infield grass. First pitch is on the outer part for a strike on the righty on lefty matchup. 0-1 coming up to the man who hit and scored in that first inning.
all right, you guys got to wave to the camera. We just put you on camera. Anyways, Drake's here with his father Dion and his younger brother Cody.
0-1, and this is going to go foul back third base side behind home plate.
What do you think? You're hitting leadoff next game? He hit leadoff, I think, once this year. Actually, I already made the lineup. You're hitting sixth.
Outfield slightly shifted towards the push side of volleyball. That one's high and away for ball one.
I'll say this. It's real tough batting.
So you're trying to get some momentum back after that bad first inning.
It's tough.
Yeah, and such a stark contrast between the two halves of the innings.
This one's hit on the ground. It'll be Bender at third, fielding it cleanly. Turns it to first base. First baseman Wright didn't have his foot on the bag, but he's able to step on it just in time, and there's two-way.
And we saw the top of the first be such an offensive explosion. And then in the bottom, the Red Sox couldn't really get anything going. Even Searing's hit was a hard ground ball, but ground ball through the 4-3 hole there on the right.
Now it's Darcy Berry. He was hit by a pitch last time up. You're trying to work the off-speed grip, but not happening on that play. This one's low and swung on and missed for strike one.
I think he's a hockey player, too.
Actually, 87 is this guy's birthday.
Righty on righty.
Born in 87, so he'd be the same age as Sidney Crosby is. This one's
Hit on the ground. Two hopper over to short. Sam Baker turns to first in time, and the Fort McMurray Giants go down in order in the top of the second. Just the bounce back that Nicholas Yard needed. Now we'll need some help from his offense. We'll be back at FloCollege after this.
And yes, yeah. So this is how I score the game.
It feels like March. It feels like March.
Defense goes here.
Yeah.
Laid down a couple good busts this year. How about your younger brother Cody? Where's he from?
Sure. So we're the private equity firm based out of Regina here. We invest in small to medium-sized companies throughout Western Canada.
Oh yeah, great pictures. You ready to pitch to all?
Is your office as winning as this one?
2 innings the other
Just
day.
about. Now, what do you think the score is going to be tonight?
One more wave.
Well, I think
One more wave.
another way to put up there. TV top. See, there you go.
These hats. Aren't these hats nice?
How about the Pacers go, Red Sox go?
I've got my jacket on too.
Red Sox go.
We've got some sponsors.
It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Red Sox, Brady by James Wright and Riley Bender, all coming up looking for their first run of the ball game. It'll be the hometown kid Brady by, the DH, for this evening's game. He'll dig in with a .353 average, only for just 4 games played, but still been a contributor from that DH spot from about the middle of the lineup so far this year.
Yeah, and the last time these Red Sox were at home, Baez smashed one over the right field wall.
It's this one on the same side, but it won't leave the infield. It's fielded cleanly by Rhodes. He'll step on first for the unassisted out. So now it is the opposing first baseman, James Wright.
Well, we had Wilson, the starting pitcher, for
He's batting .240 in all 7 games.
3 miles per hour in inning number
He's gotten a double. He's been hit by 7 pitches and has 4 RBIs.
Hit by 7 pitches in. Has he played all 7?
83.
Yes, he has.
Yes. That's a lot of pain to take.
Isn't wearing an elbow guard worth noting? 1-0. That's outside. 2-0.
Yeah, you'd think a guy who seems to have a magnet for the ball would want something to protect that front elbow, but he doesn't.
Playing in tight on that right-handed batter's box, takes the swing and miss on that outside offering. It'll be 2-1. Wind howling once more for this 2-ball 1-strike offering. Lefty on righty. Down outside on the check swing, no appeal. It'll be 3 balls, 1 strike.
Hitters count here, 4 right. He has 1 double, and the rest of his hits are all singles.
That one away, so it's a 5-pitch walk for the first baseman, and only the second base runner here, 2 innings into this game.
And that's the first walk that Wright has drawn, which he wasn't hit by the ball. He has 7 hit by pitches, but he hasn't drawn a four ball walk yet.
1 on for Riley Bender, third baseman. First pitch, he fouls this one back behind the plate, first base side. Bender batting .313 in all games, 10 hits on the year, 2 doubles and 4 RBIs. Has struck out 8 times, which is second most on the team, right behind Matthew Fox, who is getting the rest in today's game. After 2 games on the road, that was called for strike 2 on the upper part.
Yeah, and Matthew Fox, the almost everyday shortstop for this Red Sox team, has had a couple really good years for this Sox.
The 0-2's in the dirt. Bender not taking. So we look at a 1-2 coming up here.
Out of Arkansas. And
1-2 foul back. We'll see another one. Bender survives.
And so they needed to try to find a closer, and Danny was the next in line. Long story short, Danny ended up being selected to the Midwest League All-Star team.
Bender out of Kingwood, Texas, a senior at Mary Hardin Baylor University.
The runner first, this one gets away. It'll go all the way to the backstop, peck the catcher Suave, and Wright will earn second base on the wild pitch successfully.
Anyways, his splits from April, May, June, July, August were just
So now with the runner in scoring position and a 2-2 count, the Red Sox threatening for the first time in this contest.
that was the first time that he had ever experienced that type of weather, because he was 24th time late free agent signee by the Yankees, or by the Jays, pardon me, no signing bonus, and ended up making the MLB.
Check over at second. Here's the pitch. That's high to fill the count, 3-2.
And then you have the opposite. We had these other guys, these other Latinos that just couldn't.
And a full count here against
3-2.
But this kid
Yeah.
right here, throwing Wilson, he's from California, pitches FloCollege, the pitch.
That one's outside, so it'll be 2 on for the 8-hitter Sam Baker.
Wilson, runners now on first and second.
2 straight walks the Red Sox have drawn, trying to work the small ball here on this colder day, and with the lead working against them.
Yes, we are.
As we got a quick mound visit here before we'll see another batter.
Yeah, I think this is just to try and get him back in the zone. There hasn't been any movement from the left side there, dugout or the bullpen, so must just be tell him to calm down. You got a big lead. Get the ball in the strike zone. Let your defense do what they're supposed to do.
So after that quick talk, it'll be Sam Baker digging in. Right-handed batter. Baker batting 160 in 6 games. Only 4 hits in 25 at-bats. That was on the outer part for strike 1. He's He's walked 4 times, struck out 5, and has 2 RBIs.
And when he gets on, he likes to go. He's got 3 stolen bases through the first 7 games of the season. And he's only played in 6.
That one misses on the outer part. Wilson thought he had it. 1-1.
Look good to me. Yeah.
So it's right on second, Riley Bender on first. Braden Wilson, the offering to Sam Baker. And again on the outer part, Wilson really working that part of the zone well this at-bat.
Yeah, and if you're the Red Sox here, you want to take advantage of this first and second 1-out opportunity that you have. Down 5 runs. You want to start clawing away now so you don't have to do it later.
Here's a chopper back to Wilson on the mound. He will throw over to first and beat out the runner Baker by a step. The runners advance, so it'll be 2 outs with 2 in scoring position.
And a productive out there from Baker. Able to move the runners, get them both in scoring position in a single, now score 2.
Now it's the 9-hitter Jordan Tucker, the center fielder. First pitch high for ball 1. Fort McMurray want to make sure that they stay in this 5-run lead. They do not want this Regina team coming back on them like they can, going a second and third time through the order. Here's one hit foul, first base side. It'll be 1-1.
And I'm interested to see how long both teams, but especially the Giants, let their pitcher go, because he's a reliever. He doesn't usually get to see the second, third time through the order.
This one's hit deep into left center. Chasing back after it is Cook, and it'll go over his head, and it'll go off the wall. 1 run comes in. Here comes another, and it's a bases-clearing double, and the Sox are on the board.
And just like that, Regina's on the board. They're down 5-2 in the bottom of the second inning.
A 2 RBI double from the 9-hitter. Wright scores, Bender scores from second, and we'll go back to the top of the order. 2 outs, but 2 runs for the home side.
Yeah, and a great piece of hitting there by Tucker. Seeing the pitch coming in, he saw it right out of the hand and took it over the center fielder's head.
Here's the top of the order for the Red Sox.
So Raphael Jackson digs in for the second time today. Be righty on lefty. He grounded out last time. This one's away, and this will advance the runner Tucker. He will go to third base, and now a 2-run game is just 90 feet away for the Sox.
Jackson has 9 RBIs early in the season here. I want to, if you're the Red Sox, you want to see him work a good at bat, put a ball in play, and try to score that runner from third with 2 out.
This is foul back to even the count of 1. And if you're Jackson, a real chance to not only stop the bleeding but steal the momentum from a Fort McMurray team that we mentioned wasn't scoring the runs that was a problem. It was playing defense and good pitching. They've given up double digits in a lot of games early on this year. This one's low and away to 2-1. The count is worth noting. This is the 3rd game in Saskatchewan that the Alberta-based team has played. They played 2 in Weyburn these last couple of nights. And they will play Regina again tomorrow. Here's one hit deep into right field, but it'll be shallow. Ranke will get under it, and that'll be out number 3. Regina do get coup across, courtesy of Jordan Tucker. He's left on third, but the Red Sox will take their run tally. They now only trail 3. It's 5-2 going into third.
have to read this ad.
Pardon me?
I know Leo wants to either go to
Sorry, try that again.
Said your mouth a bit cold.
My everything's a bit cold today.
radio, look and listen to lottery.
But I don't. When I get the feedback, I stutter. I don't like hearing myself. So when I have to hear myself, I struggle to speak.
Get your tickets now at accessnownradio.ca.
I'm guessing that's. Are you sure? Because
Broadcast for the home opener. Quebec City's night, Victoria's night. I want to go to Yellowknife for those.
I'll just turn it down a bit so I can't hear myself as much, and then you should still be able to hear. Okay. Okay.
No, when I was with Ottawa, you know, that Quebec City ballpark, that's happy closer. It's passion fans. Great team, too.
Sox are able to break their goose egg in the bottom of the second. They will look to hold the Giants here in the top of the third. They'll face off against the meat of their lineup. 3-4-5, 2 up.
Doubled in two his last time up, also scored.
Yard was able to send the Giants down in order in the last inning as the wind continued to blow our score sheets around a little bit. His first pitch inside to Elijah Cook, the center fielder, for ball 1. He had a RBI double his last time up, also came around to score in that big first inning.
Yeah, and if you're the Giants here, you want to see your team be able to get some more runs, get those runs that they just gave up back, because you had a 5-run lead, and that's a lot. But 3 seems a lot different than 5. Even early in the game, where even though it's only 2 runs, it feels different for each team, being up or down by 5 versus up or down by 3.
And this will be the second time through the lineup for most of these batters to face off against Nicholas Yard. Here's one hit on the ground. It'll go to the first man right. He will try to underhand throw to Yard, and he'll beat it out by just a step. A little bit of a scare from the Red Sox infield defense, but they're able to record the first out nonetheless.
Yeah, and a good play there by Wright. Knock it down. Make sure you don't let the ball get behind you. Make the play, and they're able to get it done. Good play there on both ends.
Matt Rhodes will dig in. He hit and scored in the first inning. And a bit of a weather update. There was some worry about the rain coming in at about 8:30 local, but it looks like it has tapered off a little bit. This wind and this cold temperature, however, has not. They're still wearing the sleeves, still wearing the hoods. First pitch to the first baseman Rhodes is a ball. Third baseman Bender playing in towards the infield grass once again. Here's one rocked into right, and it'll drop fair. Takes a couple of bounce to the wall. Rhodes will get into second base, sliding. Could have stood up, but he'll take it sliding for a 1-out double. His second hit of the day.
And you mentioned earlier, Rhodes is going to be a guy to watch from this Fort McMurray team. Started with a single, now he's got a double. He's a good hitter. He's batting over 300 now if you include today's at-bats. And really putting together some really good at-bats, some really hard contact, and it's showing here in the first couple innings.
Carter Herkin, the DH, comes up with the runner on second and 1 out.
Rhodes with his third double of the season.
Opening pitch is away for ball 1.
And you mentioned before that Fort McMurray had played 3 games. They've actually played 4 in a row in Saskatchewan. They played 2 in Saskatoon, 2 in Weyburn. Now they're going to play 2 in Regina before eventually going back to Fort McMurray.
Fastball from today's starter, Nicholas Yard. No movement down in that Red Sox bullpen.
Lost both to Saskatoon, 3-5 and 6-14. But against Weyburn, we're able to win 8-6 and 8-4 the last 2 nights.
So near the end of this road trip, we'll see how that affects calls to the bullpen. Seeing who's available. 3-0 now count quickly here to Carter Herkin. With the runner on second, here comes the pitch. And that's high for a 4-pitch walk.
Well, that's the first walk for Yards. And now first and second.
Yeah, you want to get out of trouble.
Only the third walk allowed on the season for Yard. They'll be 2 on. The force will be on at any of the bases.
Yeah, and the first walk tonight for Yard, he had the hit by pitch earlier, but those aren't the same stat in baseball.
Nick Suave coming up.
Maybe look at the drive some to the right side.
Ready on ready. This one outside once again. He had a 3 RBI home run his last time up. Really broke this game open.
Yeah, and that was really when you felt the pressure start to build on the Red Sox for that early in the game, already be down 5-0 at home after making the crowd wait for the weather on a cold night.
There's a 1-0 strike to bring the count even at 1.
Ball and 1 strike to count with runners on first and second. 1 away for Fort McMurray. Top of the 3rd inning.
This one's fouled back for strike 2. And a chance for Yard to get back up in this at bat.
And one thing about Yard is when he gets himself with these jams or he gets put in these jams from a call to the bullpen, he's really good at getting them out. He's got a lot of strikeout stuff that he can maneuver a lineup and use to get out of some of these jams that he gets in.
Swing and a miss there, and it's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Yard. So he's trying to bounce back in this game.
And it took a while for Yard to settle into his first start of the season, but since he has, it's really been a good outing. A 1-2-3 inning last inning, and now allowing a double and a walk, but striking out there, and now you got 2 out.
First pitch to Kavanaugh, Zach Kavanaugh, the second baseman who struck out his last time up. First pitch is a ball. Still 2 on, but now 2 out.
Kavanaugh this season has 10 strikeouts coming to this game.
Check swing, and we'll call it strike. Not too sure if that was on the pitch or the swing. It looks like it was on the pitch. Either way, it'll be 1-1.
Only behind the guy we just saw strike out in Suave.
Infield, outfield, standard depth and shift. This one will go to second. They'll turn to Bender at short. Excuse me, turn to Baker at short for the fielder's choice to end the inning. So no runs come across in the 3rd. A good play for Yard. And the Red Sox will look to gain back their advantage. We'll be back after this.
Nice meeting you guys. Good luck in the baseball.
There were no errors, 2 left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd for score remains. The Fort McMurray Giants 5. And
Remember that kid you coached?
there's more baseball than seen at FloCollege, whether it's a walk-off, home run, or a game-saving strikeout.
And we're back here at Curry Field. It's 5-2 for the Fort McMurray Giants. 5 in the first inning.
Oops, sorry.
3-run shot by Nick Sobek. Red Sox got back in at the bottom of the 2nd inning. Cashed in 2 on a 2-run double by Jordan Tucker. Just like that, Regina did down by a score of 5-3. For the Red Sox, they got the meat of their order coming up. It's Samard, Searing, and Allura. 2-3-4 up for the Red Sox.
I got the heart of the order, so a chance to get some runners on this.
Get ready for the bottom of the 3rd inning from Curry Field here. A 5-2 ball game in favor of the visiting Fort McMurray Giants. Red Sox trying to get back on the scoreboard offensively. They're able to do it well with a 2 RBI base hit from Jordan Tucker. They'll go back to 2-3-4 with Justin Samard, Jackson Searing, and Jaden Kalora. What are you looking to see from them in this inning, Jared?
Yeah, and from this Red Sox team, I really want to see putting some at-bats together, getting traffic on the bases. The wind is blowing out to left field, but on a colder night, it's not going to fly as much unless you get into a jet stream. And relying on home runs and the big shots is not going to be the key to clawing back. It's going to be playing with singles, playing station to station, and playing old school small ball.
Justin Samard comes up. He popped out his last time. Looks at a first pitch strike on the outer part. Asks home plate umpire Jordy Dwyer about that location, and we'll dig in for the 0-1. Here's the offering from Braden Wilson. Downs outside and away. Wilson so far in his first start of the year has done a pretty good job for a struggling Giants team.
We saw Samard in the first inning pop up in foul territory to the first baseman.
Here comes the 1-2 from Wilson. That misses high and away to even the count at 2.
And these are the kind of bats I was talking about. You don't have to get on. Of course you want to. You don't have to get on early in the at-bat. You can work an at-bat, see a lot of pitches.
Now it misses just on the outer part. Looked like it was near the same location as one of the strikes in this at-bat. Either way, it'll be a full count. Bounce high for ball 4, and it's a worked walk from the second baseman.
Yeah, and that was a really good at-bat by by Samard. He was able to see a lot of pitches, understand the zone after he got that one call that he might have not agreed with necessarily. He was still able to understand the zone and work a walk there.
Single to right field his last time up. Samard a good lead at first, the pitch off the plate.
First pitch is outside to Jackson Searing. Got a base hit his last time up. Looks to continue his evening on the right foot with a runner on first. Lefty on righty. Check over to first once again. Here's the pitch. It's low for ball 2.
And we saw Jackson Searing in his last at bat to work a good at bat and slap a ball the other way, and that's what I want to see again here. If I'm a Red Sox coach or the Red Sox manager, I want to see a good worked at bat. Make the pitcher come to you, especially now with 3-0 count. You want to make them come to you. Make sure that you get a pitch you like, and you can turn on it down the line or put it opposite field if you need to.
3 balls, no strikes. To Searing, that one is away for a 4-pitch walk. So 2 straight base on balls for the Red Sox. And here comes the tying run to the plate. It is Jaden Kalura, who popped out to end the first inning.
And this is why I talked about working the strong at-bats, working the long at-bats against a guy like this who doesn't pitch multiple innings that often. Getting the opportunity to really get his pitch count up early and force him to really labor to get through. There's some action, the lefty tossing in the Giants bullpen.
And there's a strike on the outer part to Kalura, the left-handed batter. Pitchers working that outer part of the plate. If they can't get these off speeds to go, and if they can't get their velocity to the best. It is worth noting Wilson with no sleeves. This one's hit up the middle, and it'll get into center field. Getting the wave is Samard. He will come in home. Throw over to third is off target, and the run comes in to score. It's a 2-run game. Kalura goes to second on the missed throw, and the Red Sox are back in this one.
So the wind really starts to pick up here. We saw Jackson Searing read that ball get by, take a couple steps toward home, realize it's maybe not the best option here, and that's good base running, knowing you have 0 outs, knowing you have still a really good part of your order coming up. You have Brady By, who just homered a couple games ago, having a really good start of the season, batting .353. Stay where you are and hope he can bring you home.
So Samard scores from second. As mentioned, Searing will stay put at third. Kalura is now at second. So none out. First pitch here to Brady Bye. That one's up and in. Nearly off the unprotected elbow of Bye. It'll be 1-0. And just a 2-run ball game now for the Sox. So they look to carry some momentum.
Trying to get the number of the Giants pitcher thrown in the bullpen. I can't get it.
This one inside to Bye again.
So I'm trying to think of how young would Vic have been, considering I would have met him in 2016.
By here, a local boy from White City, Saskatchewan, just 10-15 minutes outside the city, depending on how fast you drive.
3-0 count.
Balls and no strikes with 2 in scoring position. Bases could be loaded.
Wilson really laboring and struggling to find the zone unless it's in a really good hitting spot right now. I want to see if he can try and catch those corners a little more.
This one's in the dirt in a way to Bye, so that'll walk him to load the bases. Third walk of this inning.
And when we see opportunities like this is, if you're a Red Sox fan, this is the opportunities you need your team to take advantage of. Bases loaded, nobody out. You can still make hard contact and work good at bats, knowing you have nowhere to go.
And we will get a quick pitching change here. With the bases loaded and none out in this third inning, the Giants will make a call to the pen. We'll be back after this as we will figure out the situation of this 5-3 ball game.
Fort McMurray, you're already up in the ball game and you don't want to let this one slip away.
12? Oh, 32. Carter Klapek.
Pitcher in the ball game and it's a southpaw. Bases are loaded for James Wright. First baseman for the Regina Red Sox. Will have to take on a new pitcher in the ball game and will get his number. Just a second. He's number 32.
Yeah, we talked about this last game. We just saw him stand up and throw. He hasn't thrown much at all.
Pitcher in the ball game is your left-hander, number 32, Carter Klapek. 270 pounds. Hails from Stettler, Alberta. And he's from the University of Calgary.
So the Giants have seen enough from their starter Braden Wilson in his first start. All the runners on base are his responsibility, but he goes 2 whole innings, allowing 2 hits, 5 walks, and no strikeouts. At the moment, he's allowed 3 runs, but that could easily balloon as he'll hand things over to Carter Klapek.
Yeah, and Klapek has had a good start to the year. He's appeared in 2 games, pitched 3.1 innings, had given up 3 hits and 3 walks with 4 strikeouts, and has not given up a run yet, earned or unearned. So they bring him in here to try to get out of this, see if they can maybe get a strikeout, one of those strikeout. He's averaging over strikeout in innings, so you can get one of those strikeouts, and then maybe a ground ball double play or 2 strikeouts and a fly ball. You try to get out of this without allowing Regina to get any more runs because they have a good offense, and you want to hold this lead as late into the game as possible.
Well, it'll be a tall task for the lefty. He'll come up to James Wright, who walked and scored his last time up. Bases are loaded. Searing's at third, Kalura's at second, Brady Bye is over at first.
The southpaw will peer in on the right-handed hitting first.
Wind continuing to howl, upwards of 40 kilometers an hour here in Regina. First pitch, that'll be taken inside for ball 1.
And Klapek from Stettler, Alberta, standing at 6'2", 170 pounds, out of the University of Calgary.
Long wait here from Klapek. 1-0. On the way.
Here's the 1-0. In the dirt, good block.
That is low and in the dirt for ball 2.
2 balls and no strikes.
Right earlier in the game, worked a walk, came around to score on that 2 RBI but double by Jordan Tucker in the second inning.
Klapek has yet to give up a run so far this season, making his 3rd appearance of the year.
Klapik likes to wait to get his pitches in from his catcher. Here's the 2-0.
2-0. Here's a strike.
Take in on the upper part for strike one.
And that's what you need if you're Klapik. You need to find the zone, figure out where you're going, and get your feet under you in a situation like this where you have bases loaded and nobody out.
And it's cold.
Yeah.
He's battling those two things. He's got bases loaded.
Here's the 2-1.
2-1 is hit on the ground into left. It'll score one, and they'll hold the runner, so the bases will stay loaded. And it's just a one-run ball game. Regina clawing back in this one.
And we talked about earlier in this inning how if you're the Red Sox, you want to see these station-to-station, long, hard at-bats, good hits. And that's what we've seen in this two-run inning with the bases loaded, still nobody out. And now they're just within one run of the Giants.
James Wright with an RBI base hit will score Searing from third. So now it's Kalura at third, By at second, Wright at first for Riley Bender. Got a run and a walk back in the second inning. As Regina still not out against the new pitcher Klapka is threatening. It's going to be Klapik.
A 3-run home run. Now the Red Sox are down a run. Here's the pitch.
This one's hit high into left field. Going back is the left fielder Oliball, and it's over his head. A grand slam for Riley Bender, and Regina have stolen this one back from Fort McMurray.
And just like that, the game is flipped on its head. It was just 5-0, then it was 5-2, and now it is 7-5.
A grand slam from the third baseman will score Kalora, By, Wright, and himself. And now this is an 8-5 ball game for Regina.
Yeah,
the
pardon
boys
me.
of the summer are rolling.
Pardon me, I'm no good at math, so when I did my 4 + 4, I got 7 somehow.
So that momentum still rolling. They'll give it to Sam Baker. Base is clear, shows bunt. He pulls back for strike one on that one on the outer part. Still none out, worth noting. So 2 of those runs on that grand slam will go against the starter Wilson. The other 2 will go against the reliever Klapik. Here's one popped up in shallow right. Now it'll go into the infield. This one blowing in as the first baseman Rhodes makes the catch, but he had to work to get that one for the first out.
Yeah, you know, that's a big out for the
Yeah, and if you're the Giants and Klapik and specifically, that's an important out for you. You just gave up a grand slam after walking in a run. Your first run's given up of the season, and now you want to settle back in, get your feet under you, and that pop-out was a good way to do that.
So Klapka gets some help from his defense. Klapik gets his help from his defense. 0-1 to the 9-hitter Jordan Tucker. That one's outside.
And as we officially close the book on Wilson's outing, he went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned on 5 walks, and faced 14 batters.
So not the best of days that Fort McMurray were hoping for. Swing and a miss on the high fastball. 1-2 now the count. This floodlights now on in full force here, about 8:37 local time here in Regina. Wade now with a consistent blow, getting nearly violent. This one's well outside for ball 2.
Yeah, and this wind does not seem to be going in there anytime soon. This seems like it's going to be something that the players have to deal with, or in the case of some of these righties, take advantage of.
Everyone's bundled up. Blankets.
Hit on the ground. It'll be the shortstop trying to turn to first. Beats it up by half a step. Great throw there from Barry to Rhodes for out number 2.
And great play there by Darcy Berry. Range over to his right, pick it up, and make a hard throw to get a speedy Jordan Tucker.
Now it's the one hitter, Raphael Jackson. He's looking for his first hit of the day. Hasn't reached base yet this evening.
Jackson, the only player to come to the plate in every inning.
You know, it's funny.
This will be the 9th batter of the frame.
Jackson, the leadoff man batting. He's 0 for 2.
2 out, none on.
His last time up.
First pitch called strike.
Yeah, I guess that's proper.
Klapik will throw the breaking ball that's tipped into the glove for strike 2.
5-run inning for the Red Sox. Now up 8-5. Grand slam home run by Sam Bender. Open things wide open for the Red Sox. That's correct.
Chopper over to first.
Right side.
He'll be fielded by Rhodes. He'll underhand it to Klapik, and it's out of the glove of the pitcher.
That might be an infield single for Jackson.
So a 2-out base hit. It'll look like a base hit. I'm not too sure on the call quite yet. Either way, he'll reach base, and it'll be 1 on with 2 out for Simard.
What's the scorer say?
It's got to be in there.
And it is going to be ruled a base hit for Jackson. It's first of the afternoon. So now we'll shift over our scorecards in inning, and it'll be Justin Simard.
Maybe a little
First
bit of
pitch strike.
hometown scoring there. I think Jackson might be out if the pitcher can hold on to that ball when it's flipped to him. Not the case.
That is a good play though from Jackson, the speedster. Here's a breaking ball that misses high.
And something of note here, Jackson is fast. He likes to take off, and he will do it. He leads the Red Sox in stolen bases with 6 already this season through 7 games.
That's low for ball 2. 2-1 now the count.
And overall, the Red Sox really like to get on the move if they can. They are a team that, when given the opportunity, they will take the extra bag and really force the pitcher and the catcher to make something happen in those scenarios.
Here's one popped up into shallow right. Rhodes is under it in foul territory. He makes the play for the 3rd out. But a fantastic inning. 6 runs come across, including a grand slam from Riley Bender. And the Sox are back in control. We'll be back on FloCollege after this.
For the Red Sox in their half of the 3rd, they get 6 runs on 4 hits. There are no errors. 1 man left on base after 3 complete. The Red Sox now lead by a score of 8-5. This inning was brought to you by Box Modular, the official trailer.
I know, I'm looking for it. Where is it?
We've got your bases covered. Look for the services. Delivery and spectacular customer service. Don't get caught without office space. Slide into boxmodular.ca. Down to Cody, he's on the field for the Bennett W4 Power Wheels race.
Shout out to Bryce Buns, Pat's manager. He was some DJ fan experience in a fully bolted up rider's jacket. There he is, Bryce Buns, there on the street.
Look at the contract.
Yeah. Well, I called him and I said, hey, get your bump in the ballpark. He said, are you sure?
And fans here at Curry Field, those that have showed up on this chilly evening have been rewarded later. What looked like was going to be a disastrous game in the first inning has come back all the way around, and now the Red Sox lead this game 8-5 after a big grand slam from Riley Bender. Nicholas Yard will come back out to pitch against the 8-9 and back at the top of the order with Carter Arts, Connor Rainey, and Elijah Olibal. This is Arts, who struck out his last time up.
A lot of close games around the WCBL tonight. Saskatoon leading Swift 6-5. Medicine Hat and Weyburn are tied at 2. Moose Jaw's beating Brooks 3-2. And Sylvan Lake beating Lethbridge 6-5. One blowout. The Okotoks Dogs are beating the Energy City Cactus Rats 11-1. Do you have any idea what a cactus rat is?
I believe it's a porcupine.
Oh, yeah,
believe.
yeah, that one makes sense.
It's either a porcupine or a raccoon. I'm not totally sure. I don't hit the name though. I don't.
No. It reminds me of like a minor league, like the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Exactly. That one just misses on the lower part from Yard as he works this one back from a disastrous first, as I mentioned, but it's really just showing how much this team, and especially the guy at the mound and Yard, has come back in this one. 2-1. That's high for 3 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, and we mentioned that it was a rough start to the game for Yard, but since then he's really settled in, only allowed 2 runners to get on base, striking out a couple tonight, and keeping the Giants' offense at bay.
That one's high for ball 4, so it's a 5-pitch walk, as Arts will get the walk and reach base for his first time today.
And that's our second walk of the year. He has 2 walks and a hit by pitch.
Now it's Rainey who grounded to short in the second inning. So 1 on, none out. Righty on righty. Here's Yard. Pitch to Rainey. It's on the ground to second. They'll turn to first, second, and no, they will not. Bobbled by the second baseman Samar, trying to turn to second. Couldn't get it out of his glove. Tried to turn to first. It was too late. So it's an infield hit for Connor Rainey, barring scores decision.
Back to the top of the order for the Giants, the batter in the left field. Number 28, Elijah Olibal.
So it's Arts to second, Rainey to first. Now it's Elijah Olibal. So it is going to be ruled an error.
Yeah, and with that error, I wonder how much the temperature had to come to factor there. I mean, I'm sitting here, can barely feel my pen. I'm not sure how well he could feel the ball, so.
Yeah, especially for the infielders that, you know, are going to be going cold for a while, as opposed to these pitchers throwing it every couple of seconds. Getting a grip on that ball is going to be difficult, especially in those high tempo situations.
Yeah,
such as turning a double play.
Yeah, and especially when you look at a guy like at second base, we have Samard, who actually hasn't had to feel a ball yet today. The only time he's even been on the scorecard is on the 6-4 fielder's choice to end the last inning, and that's just his glove.
So here in the top of the 4th, 9 out and 0-2 count to the leadoff man Elijah Olibal. He's 1 for 2 with a hit and a run. That misses just outside on the righty v lefty matchup. 1 and 2 the count.
These are one of those nights where you need those gas station hand warmers in your back pocket that you can just reach back there, warm your hands up to help you keep a good grip on that ball.
Yeah, really any method you can get. Pitch is on the inner part for strike 3. Olibal is caught looking, and it's strikeout number 4 for Nicholas Yard.
Yeah, an absolutely great pitch there by Yard. Having Olibal literally turning out of the way of a ball that caught the zone. Just a sign that Olibal never really saw what was coming out of that hand.
First pitch is in for a strike to the 2-hitter Darcy Berry. He's hit by pitches last time up. We get a time called here. They'll say that a ball from the bullpen went behind the dugout, so they'll have to remove that from the field of play for just a moment. We are glad to report the rain looking like it is going to taper off for a few more minutes here.
There was a time tonight where we weren't even sure if we were going to play baseball, and now we're
4 innings in, and this one is going to be once again hit off Barry's back. is able to turn just at the right time, trying to dodge out of the way. Instead, he'll reach base once again from a hit by pitch, and the bases are loaded. It'll be Arts on third. He reached by a walk. Reaching from an error was Connor Rainey. He's on second, and now Barry, who you just saw getting plunked, will go to first.
By the way, that's the second time Barry.
Corner infielders playing in.
Yeah.
It's Elijah Cook. It was a 2 RBI double in the first. Grounded out his last time. This one's going to be high for ball one from Yard as he faces some pressure once again.
Potentially happen. There's one gone. Double play gets the Red Sox out of the inning. Bases loaded for the number 3 hitter Elijah Cook, who doubled in 2 back in the first inning.
And if you're Yard here, getting a ground ball can be.
Here's a ball popped up into left field. Going back is the fielder Tucker, and it is over his head. A second grand slam in this game, and Fort McMurray grabbed the momentum right back. They play small ball before knocking it out of the yard. And this is going to be a 9-8 ball game. Excuse me, 10-8 in favor of Fort McMurray.
Elijah Cook gets his now 6th RBI of the game.
6 RBIs for Cook.
Grand slam now.
He is cooking.
Elijah Cook having a great game tonight. After starting the season a little slower with batting 150, that's his first home run. He's only had 3 RBIs. He's got 6 tonight, as you just mentioned. That's doubling his total.
So it is 9-8, excuse me, I was right the first time. So it was Arts, Rainey, and Ollie Ball that all scored alongside Cook. And now it's a run-run game for the Giants. Big swing and a miss there. Swing and a miss there, excuse me. It's 0-2. And that wind really took that ball. It looked like it was just going to be a routine fly over to Tucker. It goes over his wall. So in this game, there have been a total of 17 runs on only 12 hits.
Looks like there's some movement down in the Red Sox bullpen.
That's a lot of
Trying to
walks.
get a man warm. Sorry?
So that's what happens when you start walking and causing errors. The small ball that teams have been playing, when you have a win like this that can take the ball over the wall in left field, it can happen fast. Like we saw last inning with the Red Sox, and now again this inning with the Giants.
All men on base for that grand slam reached on a way that was not a hit. One reached on an error, one reached on a hit by pitch, and another on a walk before they knocked it out of the yard into left field. And this game has gotten interesting once again. 1-2 is outside to even the count at 2.
Rhodes has been pretty hot today. Single back in the first.
Rhodes got a base hit in the first and a double in the third, where he would be stranded on second base.
Coming into this game, the Giants had a total as a team as 1 home run.
Here's another one hit into left. Tucker going back once again at the wall. It's gone! Give the Wind another assist. A 3rd home run in this game. And a solo jack for Matt Rhodes. The cleanup man will walk it alone. And it's a 10-8 game in favor of Fort McMurray.
You know, I think any other night of the season, that ball stays in the park by 15 feet at least.
Yeah, just carrying into left field. The wind absolutely inflated that hit. Looked like Tucker was going to be under it. Just tracked it all the way back to the wall. Goes over his head by a good couple of feet. And the 2nd home run of this game. And this game is now 10-8 in favor of the Giants. You got to imagine Regina just trying to get back in the batter's box. They want to use this win to their advantage. Here's a foul ball that's going to go into the seats.
Yeah, if you're not aiming to hit to left field at this point, I don't know what your approach is, because you put anything in the air out there and the wind's just going to take it.
This is Carter Herkin, who has walked his last time up.
Just for some perspective, the wind right now is at 43 kilometers an hour, gusting up to 56 kilometers an hour.
No balls and 2 strikes.
You almost feel like that's getting up close to 60 with how far that ball carried on those last 2 at-bats.
Yeah,
0-2, and it's a 3-pitch strikeout to end the inning. So the wind playing in favor of Fort McMurray. Regina will look to use it here.
Only 2
Excuse
outs.
me, 2 outs.
Yeah.
That is the second out, excuse me. So this will be Nick Survey, who had a 3 RBI home run in the first and struck out his last time up. Here's a ball that's going to go into center, be pushed by the wind into left center, but it'll be fielded by the center fielder Jackson for a 1-pitch single for Suave. So 2 outs, there's 1 on.
That's the first pitch of this inning, or first hit of this inning, pardon me, that the Giants have had that didn't go over the fence.
Yeah, you'll take that stat any day if you think about it. So now it is Zach Kavanagh. He puts this one over to Samard. He'll field it clean this time, turns to first, and beats it out by a couple of steps. A kooky inning here from Regina. The weather playing a factor. Regina will look to use it to their advantage at the bottom of the 4th. After this, on FloCollege.
I don't know if I've seen a win like this since, you remember last year that game in Brooks, and it was like 32 to 28 or something like that? Holy fuck, it's cold.
We're gonna play 2 tomorrow.
It's supposed to be like 18 degrees tomorrow, too.
I gotta play. You gotta play.
It's supposed to be like pretty warm tomorrow. It's supposed to be like 18 degrees.
23, I saw.
Looking now, it says 8 or 19.
The high tomorrow.
I'm playing in 6-degree weather. Yep.
Well, we're back at Murray Field, and just like that, the Red Sox had the lead, and now Fort McMurray's back on top. Back-to-back home runs from the Giants in the 4th inning. A grand slam by Elijah Cook, followed by a solo shot opposite field by first baseman Matt Miller.
Welcome back in here to Curry Field in Regina, Saskatchewan, where we go to the bottom of the 4th. And after a 5-run top of the 4th, the Giants have taken control back to this game. We had an early jump in front from Fort McMurray, going out 5-0, and then giving up 2 in the bottom of the 2nd to go up 5, to stay up 5-2. And then in the bottom of the 3rd, the Red Sox scored 6 in that frame to go up 8-5, and now in the top of the 4th, the 5 spot again puts the Fort McMurray Giants up 10-8 with a couple home runs, 2 grand slams in this game. Jackson Searing, Jaden Clure, and Brady Bye will be your hitters for the Regina Red Sox to start the inning. Hoping to scratch some more runs across and get back to leading this game for their fans on this chilly night here in Regina. So that one's outside for ball 2. 2-0 here to Searing. Searing tonight singled and walked. Came around to score on that walk. He was part of that grand slam. Pardon me, he wasn't part of the grand slam. He was walked in shortly before that.
I don't know about you, but
And a 4-pitch walk to Jackson Searing. The Fort McMurray pitching staff has nothing to do with Jackson Searing. We're talking about a guy here with 7 home runs for LSUS this season and a 56-0 season. Base is empty. Why would you pitch to him anyways?
Well, the White Sox do the black. I guess it's kind of like a.
Jaden Clara coming up tonight. He flew out to center field in the first and then singled and scored in the last inning. Clara was the runner on third during that grand slam back in the 3rd inning. Starts this at bat 2-0.
One jacket?
And Calera gets plunked in the right side.
Thank you very much. They just gave me a jacket.
And that's got to hurt on this cold evening here in Regina. He takes a slow trot down to first base. And the Red Sox are back in business now with 2 on and nobody out. There's going to be a quick mound visit. Looks like they will change the pitchers. So we will take a short break as we sort out who's going on to the mound.
And we have a pitching change again. So Calera gets hit by a pitch. Now first and second was nobody out for the Red Sox, and the Giants have made a pitcher change. As Clapton
Is that 14?
taken out of the 12 pitch inning. 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk.
You said yeah?
Looks like it, yeah. We have a new pitcher in the ballgame. Finally, a right-hander for 14. Number 14.
Now finishing the Giants for the Giants.
Number 14.
This is Luke Glenn, a right-hander standing at 6'1", 190 pounds. And he hails from Toronto, attending Niagara University.
And welcome back in here to Curry Field as we get back underway in the bottom of the 4th inning. The pitching change to the right-hander, number 14, Luke Glenn. Luke Glenn comes to this outing with a ERA at 0. Has not allowed a run yet, or allowed 1 run not earned. He struck out 3 in 2 innings of work in his 1 outing, giving up 1 double. Luke Glenn going to try and get this back on the rails here for the Giants and avoid giving up more runs and getting this game closer or the lead flipping back in Regina's favor.
And you imagine that if there is imminent rain or just with this cold, you imagine these teams trying to rush to that 5th inning, see where they're at that point and not use as many pitches as they have been. But in a game like this, which is a real oddity, it almost feels like a necessity.
Yeah.
So coming up now, sorry to cut you off there. Sorry, coming up now is Brady By. Walked his last time up.
I was going to say, yeah, you're right. If you get to 5 innings, it counts as a full game. If something were to happen, we would get more rain, you get rains out, that game counts after 5 innings.
Second for the Red Sox. Pitcher into the ballgame is Luke Glenn.
Check over to second. It's not going to be in time for steering.
Batter is Brady By.
We're going to be blowing around everything here in our press box that isn't weighed down. Righty on lefty. There's the first pitch of the at-bat. That'll be called for a strike.
And everyone up here in the press box is standing, trying to keep warm.
every reason to. We know we're talking about it a lot, but it is really no joke. Here in early June, you're bound to get a couple of these games. There's a pitch that just misses inside. Might have been a little bit low.
And the rain has held off, and it looks like it might hold off for the remainder of this one, but we'll cross our fingers and hope it doesn't get cold and wet.
1-1, a great curveball that'll hit on the inner part for strike 2.
Brady Abai being really picky in this at-bat, looking for something that he really likes, and if he gets it, I think he's going to hit really hard.
That pitch misses low. Bai able to check his swing and hold back. So it'll be 2-2 with none out. And the last thing you want to do, we've seen in this game, is load the bases.
Yeah.
Because you never know what could happen.
Last thing you want to do is give a fly ball to left field because it's not going to come down.
That would be the push side to Bai. You'll still get one towards the left side, and the wind is going to push that one all the way foul. That one nearly caught in left field, but instead it'll float foul, and we'll see another 2-2.
And Klapik is out of the game. He's responsible for both runners on base, but as of right now, he pitched 1 inning, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 1 and faced 8 batters.
2-2, foul back again, and we'll see a 2-2 pitch for a third time to Brady Bai.
And Brady Bai is looking to make that 2 earned runs turn into 3 here. Get a good hit in the gap. You can score both. There is a catcher. Might not be as fast as the guy in front of him, but
Here's the ball popped up once again, left side. We'll go third base side. Foul, and it is foul. The third baseman, Arts, nearly made a play going over the fence, but they'll say that it's out of his glove and foul.
the ball literally went in his glove out there at their third base. Arts made the catch, but when colliding with the fence, he dropped the ball, and it was jarred loose, deemed no catch.
So a great at bat here from Bai, able to stay alive on the third reliever of this, or second reliever, third pitcher of this game. This one will hit low, 3-2 the count.
Brady Bai working a really good at bat here, fouling off pitch. Some of the pitch he doesn't love, but knows they're going to be strikes, and extending this at bat, getting the full count here.
Full count, 2 on for Bai. Lines it into left, into right, but it'll go foul by a good couple of feet into the Red Sox bullpen.
That one was lined really hard.
Pitches.
Yeah. Pitch count is up to 8 for this at bat. By working heavy pitches, making Glenn work for his first out of the game.
So another full count pitch coming to Bai. Big situation in this game. 2 on. No. Here's the pitch. Hit hard into right. It'll float right into the glove of Rainey. Runner tagging from second, and he will come in safely. Will Searing. So it's a sacrifice fly to right to advance one runner, and there are runners on the corners.
And that almost had the opposite effect of everything we've seen going to left field. Going out to right field, although it's not blowing directly in, the winds seem to have killed that ball a little bit. Because that was hit harder, arguably, than some of those home runs that gone to left field. But just doesn't get the help with the wind here. In fact, it probably hurt him. And be first and third with 1 out.
So the first out recorded by Luke Glenn, the reliever for the Giants. Now here comes James Wright. Got an RBIs last time up. Looks at a strike on this first pitch.
Crazy that it's 9 o'clock and we're only in the 4th. Yeah, 9:08. It's getting colder.
Bottom of the 8th, or excuse me, bottom of the 4th. Check over to first with 1 out. Is unsuccessful on the runner. That's Kalura over at first, the catcher. Not really much of a steal threat, I should say.
Yeah, and as you say that, let's take a look. Don't believe
Here's a
Clara.
ball hit hard into left. It'll go over the head of Oliball and off the wall. It won't go, but one run will come jogging in, and the runners will stay on the corners, but we have ourselves a one-run ball game.
And I think with the way the balls have been getting out to left field, Wright thought he got it, but that one that just didn't get high enough and went off the wall, and now Wright stuck at first.
Yeah, James Wright slow around first. Could have maybe had second if he worked hard enough, but instead there'll be runners at first and third, and it's 10-9 ball game. Riley Bender, he had a grand slam his last time up and has yet to be retired. 2 runs in this game, along with 4 RBIs.
Bender was the one who hit the grand slam his last time up. Good swing, flew it over the left field wall.
Breaking ball hits on the outer part, 1-1. And now we can see that left fielder Ollie ball for Fort McMurray playing almost near the track, just a couple of steps in front of it. That one's outside, 2-1.
And on this windy night here in Regina, a lot of balls going out, a lot of balls affected by this wind.
2-1. This one's hit into left, but it'll be pushed well foul into the Fort McMurray dugout. Excuse me, through the Fort McMurray bullpen, I should say.
This wind does not seem to cool. It only seems to be picking up more and more.
It's getting pretty violent. Luckily, heading the third now to the 4th time through this order. This player's a little bit more used to it. This one's popped up into right. Rainey is underneath it coming in, and he won't make the catch. Coming in towards the first base bag, throw over to second, and that's going to be in time for out number 2. Our run does come in to tie the ball game, so a chaotic play, and we'll find ourselves knotted at double digits with Wright being called out on the force. So it's an RBI single for Bender. Scoring from third is Kalura, and now there's 1 on 2 outs in this 10-10 ball game.
And it seemed like the right fielder out there.
This one's hit over to third. Arts will throw over to first, and they'll call it in time. A great play from Rhodes, able to save what would have been an error on the Sam Baker grounder to third. So 2 runs come across in the bottom of the 4th. We're almost there towards a complete game. 10-10 is our score in this windy night, Regina. The rain's going to start in 23 minutes.
I run in the washroom. I wish I knew the game. Last year there was a game against the Bruce Bombers. Not us. It was Bruce Bombers and somebody else. I think it was Bruce Bombers and Fort McMurray. And the final score was something like, it was like 32 to 28.
This is a new pitcher.
It was insane.
Harold, is this a new pitcher?
Yeah, it is.
pitcher into the ball game for the Regina Red Sox. He finds himself in a bit of a different situation in this 10-10 game.
That hit out to right field, we did not get an error, and that got knocked down by the wind. That's just the destroyed.
And we do have a bit of a scoring update. We have ruled that base hit that kind of fell out of the right fielder Rainey's glove as a base hit, as the wind is a bit of a factor towards it. But now we turn our attention to the top of the fifth with a new pitcher for the Red Sox.
Yeah, new pitcher is number 25, Vitario Iacobucci. I tried.
Iacobucci.
Yeah.
Bit of a tricky name, but also a tricky player to get some hits off of, and this is exactly the guy that Regina will be sending to the mound as they look to hold this lead.
Yeah, and as we look at his season so far, he does have a 5 ERA, but in the early season games, or stats, can really be inflated for pitchers. You have one bad inning, and your ERA can shoot up to like 40, and it's just because you gave up 2 runs but didn't get an out.
Iacobucci throws 2 straight balls to his first batter, Carter Arts.
He
Walked
does
and scored in the last inning.
He does have 1 strikeout and 1 walk, 6 hits, 1.2 innings pitched in just 1 appearance.
There's his first strike of the evening, 2-1 now the count. Iacobucci, a reliever last year for the Red Sox. Mostly working out of the pen. Might have made a couple of starts. There's a strike on the outer part for strike 2 to even it at 2.
He did not make any starts last year. Pitched 18 innings in 12 games. Struck out 17. Had 12 walks on 19 hits, but no game started.
Here's one hit into left. It'll be between third and short for a base hit. First of the inning as the Giants try to take back their lead they've had now twice in this game.
Yeah, really back and forth game between two teams that have started off the season in completely opposite directions. You look at the Red Sox, and they have 2 losses on the season, and they've started out really hot. But you look at the Giants, and they only have 2 wins on the season, both coming in their last 2 games. So if you look at that, you can look at that. Well, they're 2-5, but at the same time, they've really started getting the ball rolling. They did play Weyburn, but you got to play who's on your schedule, and they did a good job, and they're doing a great job here against the Red Sox, who are a really good team here tonight.
And they took care of business these last few nights in Swift Current against the 57s. There's a swing and a miss to even the count at 1 to Connor Rainey, who, as we mentioned, was not charged with an error in the last inning on the final base hit of the bottom of the 4th. Then ended up bringing 2 runs around for Regina. Runner on first. Here is the 1-1 from Iacobucci. It's in the dirt, 2-1.
Yeah, and as you said, the Red Sox have taken care of business against some of the lesser competition that they've played. They've played Swift Current 3 times already this season, winning 11-1, 10-3, and 5-0. Played Weyburn, beat them 5-0. Had a win against Medicine Hat 14-9. That one's fouled off. Lost to Medicine Hat 9-6. I was here that night, and they were up 5-0 and seemed to have complete control over the game until all of a sudden it was 5-5 going into extras, and they gave up 4 runs at the top of the 10th.
Yeah, similar to kind of what we're seeing today. No lead is really safe in the WCBL.
Well,
tried to work the hit and run the last pitch. This one's outside, so it's a full count.
Vittorio Iacobucci, Italian from Vancouver, just like me. No, pitching change for the Red Sox. Yeah.
So Iacobucci sets. And that one just misses on the inner part. Iacobucci wanted it. He'll talk to the umpire, but he will not get it. So 9 outs, 2 on. Giants threatening.
Back to the top of the order for Fort McMurray. Up the plate, the left fielder for the
This is his second
Now 3rd time through for this Giants lineup. Top for Ollie Ball. Center fielder with a hit, a strikeout, and a ground out.
6 runs total.
This is Ollie Ball's first opportunity to hit. Pardon me, only second opportunity to hit with runners in scoring position tonight in his 4th at bat.
Now back to the top of the order for the Giants.
A lot of small ball in this game despite the scores.
small ball until it's a long ball.
Exactly. Very hot and cold. No pun intended. Iakabuchi down 1-0 in this at-bat. It is Art at second, Rainey at first. Potential bunt there, and they'll say he went around on the miss, so it's 1-1.
And leadoff hitter Olabel is 5 RBIs on the season to start this campaign, and looking to try and put a ball in the gap and maybe get 1 or 2 more here and put his team back on top for the 3rd time tonight.
Another big gust coming through. This one lined over to first, and a step on first for the force out. A liner to the first baseman right. He steps back a few, hits the bag with his foot, and is able to record the double play.
Absolutely great play there by Wright. Shows off the athleticism. His catcher, he's listed as a catcher and a first baseman, so showed off his catcher squat to get down there, make the catch, pop back out, touch the bag, get the double play.
And that is exactly what Iakabuchi needed. With 2 on, none out, to 1 on, 2 out. Big hack and a big miss at Darcy Berry. He's reached base twice today. Once on a hit by pitch.
This has got to be gusting more than 56 kilometers an hour.
This has to be hitting close to 60. The wind knocked over my laptop. This one's hit third base side into the Giants dugout. So it'll be 0-2 and a chance for Iakabuchi to get out of the 5th. Iakabuchi.
Iakabuchi, and a pitcher toes the first base side of the rubber.
That one just misses on the outer part. Iakabuchi really wanted it, so does this crowd. Instead, the batter, Barry, will live to see another pitch.
Iakabuchi could really use a good outing here. The last time he pitched this season was that 6-run inning against Medicine Hat. The Red Sox went on to win 14-9, but going into Iakabuchi's outing, it was 14-3.
If this one gets away, it'll go to the dugout, or excuse me, go to the backstop. The pitcher, Kalura, didn't know where it was for a moment, the runner not daring to go around. Instead, he will just sit over at third in this 10-10 ball game. That runner could be very important. This pitch might be one of the most important of the game.
Yeah, with a 2-2 count and 2 outs, anything in play with how cold it is and how easy it is to make an error with this cold weather.
2-2. Just misses low to fill the count. Colares nearly scraped it up from the dirt. I believe he might have actually hit the dirt. So a full count, 2 out, runner on third. Tie ball game here at 10 apiece from Curry Field. Iakabuchi against Barry. The pitch. Hits on the outer part for strike 3. Barry doesn't like it. Iakabuchi gets hyped up. And the runner is stranded 90 feet away from home. So a 10-10 game will go to the bottom of the 5th. Red Sox coming up after this.
God dang.
This game's so crazy. We might not even get one. Oh my God. Allegedly getting rain. We're allegedly getting rain. That's what it says. We're getting rain for the next 120 minutes.
Well, it could be anywhere else in the city.
Exactly. So anywhere in the next 10 minutes, it could come like that. So,
Yeah.
let's just score running.
Does the game doesn't entirely just continue?
Well, if it's after 5, no. But I'm saying if we score, we get out of here. I'm okay.
How do I start? How does this come back on? Does it come back on?
It just comes back automatically.
Yeah, it comes back on.
Okay.
You just go this way.
I see, okay.
Meanwhile, the Red Sox scattered.
Yeah, just, where does it say that comes back on?
Would like to keep that going here in this 5th. They scored 2 in the 2nd, 6 in the 3rd, and 2 in the 4th. Now beginning the bottom of the 5th. Meanwhile, McMurray a 5 spot in the 1st and a 5 spot in the 4th.
Do you see where it times in?
The Red Sox are going to score a couple of minutes, but just look at this. It's a big difference. Right? Both
And And it is crunch time here from Curry Field, bottom of the fifth. Wind blowing, 10-10 ball game. You'd imagine with the way these scores are going, after a shutout top of the fifth, that was extremely crucial for this Red Sox team.
Yeah, and as we were talking about on the break, the Red Sox, if they can score here, we were looking at the radar, looks like there's going to be some rain coming in here very soon. And with that, if the game ends up having to be called.
First pitch is a strike to the first batter, Jordan Tucker, the 9-hitter. It'll be 9-1-2 here in this bottom of the fifth. Tucker had a 2 RBI double in the second and grounded to short his last time up. Glenn misses on the outer part there to even the count at 1.
It's basically a north wind. So had the wind turn around, come from the south, the pitcher's park, a little bit warmer.
1-1 on the way.
1-1.
Hit off the end of the bat by Tucker. It'll tail foul, and it will be out of the reach of Rainey, who made a pretty decent run at it. But it'll fall harmlessly to the ground, 1-2 the count.
Yeah, and Rainey made a good play to try and get over there, but the wind held that ball in play, but just not close enough to him to go make it.
Glenn sets. It's the pitch to Tucker. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On the ground, over to second. Kavanaugh turns to first in time, 1 out. So back to the top, it'll be Raphael Jackson. He has 1 hit in this ball game and has popped up twice. He's 1 for 3. This one in on Jackson. Does a good job to get out of the way on this righty-lefty matchup.
Right on the thigh.
Samard is on deck. Infield, outfield, normal depth. Great movement on that off-speed pitch. It'll hit on the upper part for strike 1.
Yep.
1-1 with 1 out. Hit into the center as it's twirling towards left field. Chasing after it is the center fielder, Cook, and he has to make a bit of a nifty play on the run, shading to his right, and makes the catch in left center for out number 2. Now it is Samard coming up. He walked and scored his last time up. He has not gotten a base hit and is 0 for 2.
0 for 3. He batted twice in the third inning there.
Right.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Popped out to first base twice and then walked and scored on the early part of that inning where he batted around.
Yeah, you know.
Another run would be absolutely monumental. There's a lefty currently getting loose in the Red Sox pen, as well as looks like another lefty in the Giants pen. We'll see if that comes around. 0-1. It's on the outer part, and quickly Samard is down. 0-2.
The rain is starting to come down here in Regina at Curry Field. It can't feel it, but if you look across the lights here, it is starting to come.
Swing and a miss for Samard, and the Red Sox with a chance to take back the lead. They'll go down in order. So we'll go to the 6th inning, tied up at 10.
Didn't we need to get 5 in? We got 5 innings in. Didn't Gary say we need to get 5 in? Yeah, so it's a complete game.
Officially, no doubleheader
It's raining. The umpires are trying to talk.
Yeah. That's what we were saying. What does happen?
Well, it's going like this where the wind is blowing the rain.
Ikabuchi out for another inning of work. He held the Giants to a shutout 5th. And it'll come out for inning number 6. Looking to do the exact same. Rain's starting to come down. That'll will most likely affect the pitchers a little bit more. Coming up this inning, it'll be Elijah Cook, Matt Rhodes, and Carter Hurcon.
Yeah, and we just got confirmation that if at any point the rain gets too bad to continue this ball game, if there's a team winning at that time, the game is over. It won't be resumed, and the winning team at the time of game called will win the ball game. If the game is tied, they'll finish out the 9 innings tomorrow before their afternoon matchup.
As far as knowing, these two teams do play again tomorrow. That will be on FloCollege. First pitch is a strike on the breaking ball.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
On is low for ball 1. On the day for Cook, he's a grand slam, a 2-run RBI, or excuse me, a 2 RBI double, and a ground out. Only been retired once. Swing and miss there. He's down 1 and 2.
Yeah, if you're Cook, you're happy so far with a 2 for 3 night, 6 RBIs, a home run, that being the grand slam, of course. But still,
He's exactly what the Giants need to get a big 6th inning started. But there he takes a hack and takes the bait on that outside pitch for a strikeout. Here comes Matt Rhodes to the plate. He has yet to be retired. A home run his last time up. It was a solo bomb.
yeah, he went back to back with Cook after that grand slam. He hit one that really off the bat didn't look like it was going to be much of anything, routine fly ball, but kept carrying and landed on the other side of the fence.
Here's a hard hit ball into right. It'll take a hop and land in front of the right fielder Searing. So a 1-out single for Rhodes. And his perfect day continues, 4 for 4.
He's a trip away from the cycle.
There you go. We'll see if he can get to that point later.
Now he did come to that bad a trip away from the cycle as well.
Well, this wind, it could go into a corner, could take a bounce past a guy. You never really know. So now it is Carter Hurcon. He's quite the opposite. He has yet to get a base hit today. He struck out before his last time up.
He did walk in the 3rd inning, but got stranded at first base.
Here's one lifted. There's his first hit of the day. It'll go into shallow right center. Fielded cleanly from Jackson. He'll throw it in, and with 1 out, there's 2 on.
As we talk about the potential for a Rhodes single or Rhodes triple, he is a lefty in this right field wall in Curry Field. It angles at a if you can hit the right, you can get a big bounce left towards center field there, and that's where a lot of those triples, because it is a short porch out there. But
yeah, it is only 309 to right as opposed to left where it's 343.
Do you remember back in the
now to Nick Suave, got a base hit his last time up, swings and misses that one.
You remember back in the day when they used to have the big screen up there and you had to hit it over to get the home runs? Took that down and said, let's get some runs going in this ballpark.
And then about 5-6 years later, we've come to this game. 10-10 in the top of the 6th. Great breaking ball. That'll be called for strike 2 on the inner part. 2-1, Giants threatening.
Got to protect now. Remember, he hit a fastball for a home run back in the first.
Suave will look to try to try to duck out of the way of that inside pitch. Might have just clipped the zone. Not called by our home plate umpire, Jordy Dwyer. So it'll be a 1-2 offering from Ikabuchi.
And Save hit the home run, the 3-run home run back in the first. That looked at the time like it blew this game up.
Suave swings and misses for strike 3, a 4-pitch strikeout. And Ikabuchi has his second K of the inning. Here is Zach Kavanaugh. He grounded into a fielder's choice back in the third and grounded out in the fourth. 2-on, 2 out.
Struck out in the first after that Save home run.
That one's hit foul, 0-1. Again, there is a left-hander getting warm in the Red Sox pen.
That's where I learned it. So what I'll do when I get back to work,
There was an arm before up in the Fort McMurray pen, but looks like there's no movement over there, so he's either maybe hot and ready to come out for the next inning, but you'd think he'd be up there and still moving if that was the case. So
Another big swing and a miss there. And Kavanaugh's quickly down 0-2. We could be looking at 3 strikeouts in this inning. 0-2. Check over to second. Ikabuchi sets the pitch. Misses high, 1-2 the count.
Zach Kavanaugh 0 for 3 batting left. So can't throw a front door breaking ball to a left-handed hitter because it's right on left. Really, it's only back.
Right.
Yeah. There's no such thing as a back door if it's right on right. The pitch. There it is.
Big hack on the curveball, and it is 3 strikeouts in the inning. Ikabuchi, an impressive outing in the frame. The Red Sox will get a chance to take back the lead here from Curry Field.
Going to the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 6th part of each here at Curry Field.
No runs on 2 hits, there were no errors, 1 man on base. Your score remained 10-10 going to the bottom of the 6th.
I'm gonna bring you some
Someone just scored. Couldn't stop like earlier in this game.
I like it. We just play 2 sevens tomorrow.
Are we in next round?
I don't think so. It's them. It's up to call it. I don't think it's that one. Yeah.
No, it's just sprinkling now.
Yeah, it's starting to come down a bit, but
It's not like
the wind's kind of almost blowing it over the field, it looks like.
when it's ruining the field, that's when it's not close yet. But it will be. I think it might be soon. We'll see.
I'll make you put it on the headset. I'm going home.
Jackson Searing, Jaden Kalura, and Brady By. Those are the 3 names that Regina will look to break this 10-10 deadlock in the bottom of the 6th. The weather turning a little bit more sour by the moment. They'll face off for another inning against Luke Glenn, as Searing will come up to dig in. On the day, he is 2 for 2 with a walk and 2 runs.
5 outside of this. That's right. Saskatchewan in the top.
So it'll be righty on righty. Searing will look to continue his impressive debut for the Red Sox here in 2025. The returnee making a big impact, looking to make it even bigger. First pitch, misses high and away.
Pardon me, I just refreshed my
And
computer.
Jackson Searing here stepping up with 2 runs scored. Both of those times he came around to score were on walks.
A little bit of a slow start. Playing energy.
1 for 1 tonight.
This one's popped up, and it'll go foul behind home plate and into the seats.
All right.
Fort back.
1-1.
Regina tied up at 10. Obviously, where we begin the bottom of the
Glenn
sixth here,
sets.
Jackson Searing.
And delivers. Here's the pitch.
On left pitch is
Tries to hit the breaking ball, but that one's a little too high and a little too inside. So it'll be 2-1.
Saskatchewan's up 9-5.
Should be a much warmer day for tomorrow's afternoon game. Looking at about 19, 20 degrees Celsius.
And that'll be a much welcome improvement from today for most of these players that will be playing in the exact same spot, minus a few tweaks on the day of the game. 3-1 now to Searing up in the set bat.
And a much more improvement in the weather for you and I, too.
Searing pops this one up, but it'll go foul, and it'll fill the count.
First home run of the season. He's had himself a really nice game. 1 for 1 with 2 walks.
Searing just makes such good contact on the ball. Every time he swings it, he's got such a nice pure swing. When he makes contact, it's always loud contact.
Glenn peers in.
Glenn delivers the full count. Popped up from Searing. It'll stay shallow left field. The shortstop Barry makes the play, and there's one gone.
And as I say that, he pops up.
So for the first time today, Searing is retired. And now it'll be Jaden Kalura with 1 out.
There's Jaden Kalura. Left-handed hitting catcher for the Red Sox. Was hit by pitches last time. And a camera shake.
First pitch to Kalura is low
Hit
for
like
ball
it's
1.
blowing. Like, look at those flags. We got to get a shot of the flags right now.
Comment too, the fans back there, at least they doubled up and sleeping bags.
There they are.
Just hanging on.
So after 2 scoreless innings, Regina will look to break that trend.
High.
That pitch to Kalura is called for a strike.
Oh, that was called a strike.
On the outer and upper part.
So is now if we put my helmet too.
1-1 to Kalura.
Claire stands with a little bit more of an open batting stance. That front foot behind the back foot a little bit.
Near the exact same place for Glenn.
At least he's consistent through the couple pitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clara better know that that's a strike the next time it comes, if he comes again. At the very least, foul it off.
1-2 from Kalura. He'll try to protect the plate. That one's called on the inner part, and Kalura is put down looking on 3 straight strikes.
Happen to have a hood on this one.
So 2 outs once again, and it'll be Brady by coming up.
And as it's got cold and wet here later in the game, you would think that you would see the pitchers start to struggle, but almost since it's gotten wet, well, not almost, since it's gotten wet, there's been not a run allowed by either team.
Rain now starting to pour a little bit more with the wind blowing. Great curveball there for a strike, and you wonder, with this wind kind of blowing a certain way, if that kind of affects the way the ball kind of comes out of the out of the hand of the pitcher. We talked about how fastballs are going to be so key and off speeds are basically off limits. But not in the instance of Glenn, he's used that very well, especially on the outer part of the plate to lefties.
Yeah, he's done a very good job at keeping himself warm, and it's impressive. He's wearing short sleeve, no undershirt, no sleeves. He's done a good job at keeping himself warm, though. Having a good grip on the baseball, which is so important, especially in a windy game like this, where it's hard to break that ball down.
By hits a little floater over to third, and it's going to be caught for out number 3, the shortstop. That was Barry, tried to dive for it right behind him. Said his infield partner will steal it from him. 3 up, 3 down. Red Sox go down. We'll go to the 7th.
We still have 3 innings left.
I know. We still have 3 innings left. I'm going to get the hot shot. Dino!
Iacobucci has been impressive since coming out of the pen for the Regina Red Sox. He'll look to face off against a decent part of this Fort McMurray lineup. It'll be 8-9 and back to 1. Total of 2 hits combined across those 3 batters, 9 at-bats. Leading off things in this inning will be Carter Art. He got a base hit his last time up and got as far as third base before the inning was over. Righty on righty. First pitch from Iacobucci. Hits the outer part for strike 1.
He's tough as nails, that's why. Carter Art's batting.
Infield, outfield, normal depth. Outfield slightly shifted towards the pull side of Art. This one in the dirt for ball 1.
Rain is coming down real hard now.
Wind kind of blowing the rain across the floodlights here at Curry.
Here's the pitch.
1-1. Just misses away.
That one's off the plate.
Still a lefty getting loose in the pen for the Red Sox. That's high. 3-1 the count.
You know what? But the guy.
And you know, with so many runs starting this game, 10-10 by the end of the 4th. Now, since nothing's happened, we're at 10-10 in the 7th.
Yeah, we've had 2 straight scoreless frames, top and bottom, after going a whole 5 with having at least 1 come across.
Hell, at least 2 come across.
They'll check the swing over, and they say no. Iacobucci, a little upset at the call. So it'll be a runner on first on the walk, none out. And that'll bring up Connor Rainey. Here comes Rainey with, in the 4th inning, he reached on an error.
Now reached base 3 times, a single and 2 walks. Here's Connor Rainey batting. Walked his last time up. He's the number 9 hitter for Fort McMurray.
1-0 count.
Rainey, his last time up was he walked, and he was the batter when Wright made that really good play at first base where he reached down, grabbed the line drive, and then touched the bag. He was the one that got doubled up at first there.
He'll look to change his fortune in this at-bat. That one misses away. Check over to first, but no throw, so it's 2 balls, no strikes now.
No outs, move a guy in a scoring position for the top of the order. I would.
This is the 9 hitter.
Creeps in. There's the bunt.
They'll look to lay down the bunt, and the wind absolutely took that one over the fencing, or excuse me, over the netting right behind home plate.
I don't
Tried to lay that one down first base side, and since he lands that one just outside the canteen area.
I don't know if I've ever seen a bunt go that high to get over the backstop. That was a new one for me.
Here it is again.
He looked to lay down another bunt. This time he goes right through it. So that'll leave the count of 2. A check over to first once again, but once again, no throw.
Really keeping a close eye at that runner on
referee.
first base.
After the last 2.
2-2. Runner on second.
Swinging away, that's for
Excuse me, runner on first. Rainey's ball is hit into the air, second base side, and the catch is going to be made by Samard for out number 1, still on the infield. Wind knocks that one down, but in this game, that's really no surprise.
Yeah, the wind really has played a factor both ways. Anything to right, being knocked right down and slowed right down. Anything to left, being taken right out of the ballpark. And it's not going to stop until this game's over.
So back to the top, it's Oli Ball.
the cold, the game.
Got a base hit in the first inning, but hasn't been able to reach base since. First pitch is called for strike 1.
The few fans that remain really enjoyed that one. As it's gotten colder and wetter, and
That was a good crowd for this colder Saturday evening. And the loyalists, the ultras, if you will, staying. This one goes, takes a couple of bounces, will take a really slow bounce. A throw from Samard over to first is in time. That one really got knocked down as it hit the wet dirt. Took a couple of more bounces than Samard expected. but the second baseman is able to turn to first to make the play.
It was a great play by Samard. Goes up, sets up for it. Kind of gets a couple bounces that you might not have predicted or anticipated. Still sticks with it. Makes a good throw. It's not a long throw, but you have to make those throws. That's why you play second base. And sure enough, was quick enough to make a good throw.
2 outs here. Breaking ball misses with Art at second now. This is Darcy Berry. He's hit by a pitch twice in this game. Struck out and grounded out. He struck out his last time up. That one misses away. 1-2-0.
And Calera really tried to pull that one back in and make it get it back over the plate and get the call, but you get it.
That one misses low. 3-0 now the count. And you wonder if maybe just try to get him swinging here and get the force at all bases.
So after starting half an hour late at 7:30 instead of 7, we're pushing up on 10 o'clock local time here.
And there's a 4-pitch walk, just as I said that. So now there'll be 2 on. Force at any base except for home. Third time Barry is reached by a non-hit. And it looks like we're going to get a pitching change or a meeting on the mound. Iakabuchi has gone for a couple innings now. You wonder what they're kind of explaining to Iakabuchi, as he will face Elijah Cook, who 6 RBIs on today, including a double and a grand slam. Struck out his last time up and is 2 for 4. So this is a big at bat.
And if
much better in here, don't worry. Debatable. So Iakabuchi will stay in the game with 2 on. After pitching coach Stephen Butts gives him some words of advice.
Yeah, probably just telling him to make sure he keeps himself in the zone, keeps his composure, tries to stay low with some change-ups, maybe get it down, and get some ground balls.
We'll see if he can weather this storm.
Was that supposed to be a pun?
I didn't say anything. Iakabuchi, a good breaking ball on the first pitch over to Elijah Cook for strike 1.
2 for 4 with 2 runs and 6 ribbies.
2 outs here for Iakabuchi.
Force at third, second, and first. Righty on righty. Here's the pitch to Cook. Check swing. They'll say no. They'll say it just misses outside to Cook, and it'll be 1-1.
I'm not really sure where that missed the zone, but
They'll say it was outside, I guess.
home plate.
Either way, 1-1. Coming quickly. Big swing and a miss, and he'll get his second strike regardless.
And if you're Iakabuchi, way to make a good pitch after that last call and not get in your own head.
So this, a massive pitch for Iakabuchi to get out of the inning, to leave 2 runners stranded in the top of the 7th. Strike 3 called on the outer parts, and the Red Sox survive late into the 9th. The wind blowing, and the Sox are still going. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. It's time to stretch here from Curry Field. Let's go. No, you are not ending this. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. I don't believe it's happening. Cormac's trying to ask to end it.
Yeah, they're going to try to ask.
They're trying to ask to end the game.
Which would mean then we'd have to come early tomorrow.
They're trying to ask to end the game. They're trying to call it.
Yeah, which would mean we have to come early tomorrow, finish this one. At the very least, they'll have to finish this bottom.
Yeah, they're going to. Well, not necessarily, but they're going to take their time getting out. Be like, oh, we don't want to play anymore.
I bet you if the Red Sox score here, they'll be trying to not get it.
Yeah, exactly. Now they're going to try to. This is like soccer when like you try to waste time and then you give them a ball and you're trying to like.
They only asked because it was still tied. If they had won, they still would have asked. But like, had they been losing, they wouldn't have asked for it.
Exactly. They're trying to. All right, who's up here? We got
I got it as Wright, Bender, Baker.
Wright, Bender, Baker. Got it. So a fantastic piece of clutch pitching from Vittorio Iacobbucci will bring up the Red Sox offense. Due up in this inning, it is 6, 7, 8. It's James Wright, Riley Bender, and Sam Baker. Luke Glenn still in the game, out for his 4th inning of work. He has only allowed 2 runs in that time. So in comes Wright. He has yet to be retired today. A walk that he scored on, an RBI base hit that he scored on, and another RBI hit back in the 5th. That was his last time up where he would be called out on a force. So just the guy you want leading off for a very important inning for Regina.
Yeah, and with the rain really starting to come down here, the rain, the wind, the weather, it's really ugly right now. If the Red Sox can score and push across a couple run, or even a run, and the umps decide that the game no longer needs to be played, they'll call it and the Red Sox will win. If they decide after this inning that it does need to be called but the Red Sox don't win, the next 2 innings will be played tomorrow.
According to the radar, it's not going to get too much better, and you imagine there's then this aura around. First one to score, might as well take this one. That one just outside on the 0-1. That becomes 1-1.
Although I have to say, this would be a great game if, say, it was 18 degrees and sunny like it's supposed to be tomorrow.
And if it was, I don't know how many of those home runs or grand slams would have counted. Either way, find ourselves 10-10 game. This one will be grounded to short. Barry turns to first, and a reaching play from Rhodes for out number 1.
And for the first time, Wright is retired.
Big play from the Fort Mac defense. Now it's Riley Bender. Narve hit his last time up. Before that was a grand slam. Before that was a walk. It's another player that hasn't been retired quite yet, but Glenn will look to do just that.
Bender with the home run earlier in this game, the grand slam.
Normal shift, normal depth. Tried to show bunt there and pulled back, but not in time. They'll call a strike on the swing. 0-1 from Glenn.
And it's raining hard with the wind.
Outside, 1-1.
Now, something you have to think about here is those fly balls that were going out when it was dry, they have to cut through the raindrops, which doesn't seem like a lot, but the rain really does affect the flight of the ball because it's wet, it's a little heavier, it doesn't spin the same, and all this means some of those hits that may have been getting taken out by the wind won't be in anymore.
So a 1-2 count to Bender. He hits it into center field, and this will be a base hit. Gets past the shortstop, and Bender continues his fantastic day. He is 3 for 3 with a walk. So here comes Sam Baker. He has yet to get a base hit today. He has yet to reach base today. But that runner on first, that's going to be the key with 1 out. Now, we were talking about small ball being played a lot today. How risky is this Red Sox coaching staff going to be with Bender over at first?
You know, I think with Bender, who doesn't have a steal yet on the year.
They lay down the bunt. It goes back to the mound. It's going to be trouble, and everyone's going to be safe. Bender takes a long turnaround second with no one fielding it, and it's a bunt single for Sam Baker, and that's how he reaches base for the first time today. What is happening?
And Baker may have gotten the button sign in an attempt to be like, move Bender over, extend the inning, get him in scoring position. Baker said, no, I'm pushing this, I'm push buttoning this, I'm getting myself on We're going to get 2 guys on with 1 out.
He sent it right back to Glenn, who
Forget the home runs. We had 3 earlier.
is asking for a new ball. Now it'll be the 9-hitter, Jordan Tucker. He doubled his first time up and has grounded out his last 2. He's 1 for 3. 2 runners on, 1 out. Huge play for both sides here in the bottom of the 7th. 1 out. Here's the first pitch from Glenn. Hit on the ground over to third. It'll go just foul, so there'll be no chance to play it. Would have been tight at any base for third baseman Arts, so likely going in favor of Fort McMurray. It's a 1.
And back to that bunt. You saw Bender take that big turn. It was because nobody was covering third for the.
No one was covering
for the
second. That's the play. Runners get a bit of a running start here as this one is hit well. Foul into right field. That one absolutely taken by the wind.
Nobody's covering second. Both the second or the shortstop, the third baseman, and the pitcher all went to the ball. So the only reason he didn't go is because the catcher ended up getting the time to get over there and recognize the good play.
0-2 the count. Here's the pitch to Tucker. Gets a good look at this one. It'll go into right, but it is knocked down. Runner tagging from second. They'll go over to first, not in time. And the man at second, that's Bender, will advance another 90 feet. So it's a sacrifice fly to right, absolutely knocked down by the rain. And we are 90 feet away from seeing the end of this game.
And that ball might have been one of the hardest hit of the game, and it barely made it into the outfield because of how this wind and this rain is affecting this game in such a drastic measure.
So it's back to the top. It's Raphael Jackson. He is 1 for 4 on the day. Left side of the infield playing a little bit more in. Glenn sets the first pitch. Righty v lefty, and it's outside. Now, how crazy would it be for them to walk this batter and get the force at every base?
1 for 4 in this game.
You don't want to risk giving up that ball that just droops over an infielder. That one's in for strike 1, so I guess you can throw that out the window.
I think walking this batter and bringing up someone who is also, or is 0 for 3.
Runner going, and they'll call strike 2 on Jackson, so it's a defensive indifference is what they'll rule the Baker stolen base, as he'll take second from first.
As I was saying, I don't know if walking really benefits that much, as you already have 2 outs, so you're not setting up a double play in any way.
Popped up, and it'll be taken by the wind, out of play. So it'll stay 1-2 once again.
Now, at the same time, because there is a base open, you're not as worried about if you do walk them. You can play the corners of the zone. You don't have to come inside, especially with 2 strikes here.
This one's drooped. It'll go short into third base side, and it'll be caught by Arts. We will continue going into the 8th. Glenn is fired up. We'll keep going here from Curry Field for the Boom on Flow Sports College.
They're just jumping out of the dugout like they won the game. We'll see. Top of the 10th, or top of the 8 coming up next, 10-10. Oh, yeah?
I feel like we're going to be playing 2 innings of baseball tomorrow.
No. Wait.
No, I think you went like this, isn't?
You went like this. I don't know if that was wrap it up or we're...
No, I think that's let's go. Let's get this over with. We got 2 innings. Let's try to get this over with.
They're going out. They're walking the Red Sox side, which is also the exit. I think what's going on? Nope, they're coming back.
Call the game. They're going out to the pitcher's mound, Leo. They're going to physically
No. 10. Looks like they're checking on the mound.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very unique situation going on here at Curry Field. And that's going to be it. We have officially gotten word this game has been called here in the top of the 8th inning, a 10-10 ball game. This will be continued tomorrow. These two teams will face off once again tomorrow afternoon, and it's likely that that will be continued.
So, just to confirm, they're going to play 2 innings tomorrow, and they're going to play another 9 either right after or shortly after to play the 2 o'clock scheduled game, meaning that there will be 11 innings of baseball tomorrow to make up for the 2 that were missed tonight.
So we will see you tomorrow. To be continued. You can write on your scorecards 10-10 going into the 8th here between the Red Sox and Fort McMurray Giants. We'll see you tomorrow for the conclusion of this thrilling contest on FloCollege. Thank you all so much for tuning in from Curry Field.
So do we say welcome back to start a broadcast tomorrow?
Yes.
That's an odd one. Wow. But anyways, that's why the 7th inning is so crucial considering like they were playing as if it was tonight. Right? Because if they get a run, they call it. Since it's tied, all the players are scurrying to the courthouse. Yeah, you fucking fool. They're running. God damn it.